PK52, the Saturday morning meeting. Hey, something I normally don't do, but let's talk about a maybe. Everybody's been hearing from me for the last couple of years, Supra's coming back. So let me tell you what I know, and let me tell you what I've experienced. The Supra was always a prevalent car as I started selling cars and started running dealerships. One of the coolest days was when I sold my first Supra back in 1988 to a guy that was actually an air traffic controller, and this guy was pumped up to get this little turbocharged Supra. Cool car, white, blue interior. That car was a pretty cool car. Then we went to that next generation Supra, the Supra that launched in 1993. Let's talk about this thing. I'm excited about the horsepower. I'm excited about the performance, but I can't wait to see what engineering is going in this car. Let me tell you what I know about the last Supra launch. First of all, everything was about stripping weight. The more weight you get off a car, the quicker the car is, the better the car handles. Back in that day, back in the early 90s, you either had a car that went really fast, really straight, or a car that didn't have any acceleration that you could have fun driving on a curved road. You didn't get both. You got both when you got the Supra. You had a couple of options. Both options, a 3-liter inline, 6-cylinder, bulletproof, last forever engine, 220 horsepower on the normally aspirated car. And the car was fine. It would run really good. But then if you put the twin turbo on there, it boosted it 100 horsepower. Now this was untouched from the factory, an extra 100 horsepower. I will tell you personally, when I drove that car, I didn't turn the radio on. I just listened to the turbos go whoop, 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 and just spool up. It was the sexiest sound that I had ever heard. I got to take the car on the track. I was at 150 miles an hour on Atlanta Motor Speedway. This car was all car. So this car was really cool. They actually took the bolts when they made the car, and they scooped the heads out of the bolts to make the bolts lighter. They would put a composite gas tank. For the first time, it wasn't metal. It was composite to lighten the weight. They started using aluminum panels, and wait a minute, the carpet in the car was hollow fiber. Hollow fiber, carpet, who knew? The performance of the car, twin turbo, and spirally inducted vented rotors that sucked the air through the rotors in the front of the car to make sure the brakes were cool. All of this stuff really had me going. If there's too much buzz going on, there's too much money being spent for this car not to come. Everybody knows that they were talking about building on the BMW Z4 platform. Well, that's gone because the BMW Z4 is gone. So now the new platform for BMW is called the Z5. The Z5 is also the Supra. This is going to be built in Austria by Canadian manufacturer. So about $60,000 a year. Now that would be BMW and Toyota shared. I don't know what the split is, but we're talking about a 4-cylinder Toyota. Now the BMW won't carry the 4-cylinder package, I don't think. It's what I'm hearing. But we're also going to have the 4, to keep the price down. The price starting at around $40,000. Now don't ask me how I know this. I'm just telling you what I maybe know. The 6-cylinder twin turbo. I'm so juiced about this. 400 horsepower from the factory, 300 foot-pounds of torque from the factory. Go and get you a little tweaker on that and see what you can do with this. You know they're going to strip the weight out of this car. You know this car is going to be ample, light, fast, 0 to 60 time, and at a $40,000, and then you start adding stuff to it, you add the technology, 40, 50, 60,000. There'll be no car out there that will match the technology and performance of this car for that price point. But it's not about bringing somebody in to buy the Supra. There's a lot of people that will traffic in that store to buy the Supra. Then you sell them a new 86. You sell them a new 86. You sell them a pre-owned FRS. You sell them anything that you can sell them off of the umbrella of the new Supra that's coming in. So I'm excited about the car. I'm excited about the performance. I'm excited about what I've heard. But more importantly, I can't wait until the engineers step in front of the camera and go, wait until you see what we've done. Some of you have forgotten. As we launched this Tundra, the new big version of the Tundra, you've forgotten how big and beefy every bolt and every nut was on that. The rear end gearing, the way they did the frame. They're not going to cut any corners on this car. It is going to be revolutionary. Akio Toyoda is a sports car fanatic, and this is my opinion, a maybe. I believe that he's going to kiss this car, and this car will never go into production until he feels strong about this car. I am super juiced and super jacked about this 2018 production, 2019 model car, all new Toyota Supra. Next week, I'm going vintage on you. Ride and drive, Southeast Toyota, Supra twin turbo, Talladega. We were running drag races with the salespeople, putting their times on the board. Toyota, if you're listening to me out there, bring this back. Put us on a track. Let us drive this car on a track. Hot laps at the end of the day with professional drivers. Bring the jump back. Oh, what a feeling. Toyota. Remember, sell them all.